to EBA Tonight. As always, it's your boy Ice the Man, the only episodic show that continues week in, week out. EBA Tonight, here with my co-host, the one and only Texas James Smith.
Yo, back again, episode 2. Having a good season so far, some ups, some downs, some trades, some free agent pickups, man. Can't wait.
Well, including our preseason episode, this is episode 3, but that's okay. I know you're just throwing it out there and just flying off the dome with your great knowledge.
Straight freestyle
off the dome. We do have a great guest with us tonight, the one and only, the first time making his appearance to the show, Mr. G Money, James Harden himself. How you doing tonight, G?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking.
Now, see, our commish thinks he sounds exactly like King Mizark, but it's not. I swear to G Money. I hope it is anyway.
The only difference is MVP, not MVP. Defensive MVP, not defensive MVP. Owner of the year, not owner of the year. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple more I'm missing in there. Center of the year, some other shit probably. This man,
the list goes on.
Hey, well, let me ask you this: when you get in an argument at home, do you tell him like, "Bitch, I'm defensive player of the year. Don't talk to me like that"? I mean, do you say stuff like that to him, or?
No, it doesn't go that far.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't go that far.
Yo, when he shoots something at the trash can, the Kimbe would tumble that shit out the house, like real shit?
Jump up and block it out of nowhere. Take that shit out my house. Like, no, that doesn't happen.
Defensive player of the year here, bitch.
Anyway, great show tonight. We have G Money here. We have, of course, as always, the commish. We're going to jump right in because we got a lot to talk about and not a whole lot of time to talk about it. So we're going to jump right into where your team ranks for the week. And this was rather difficult to do. I mean, we had to go back and forth a few times. It's easy for the first spot, and I think 6 to 10 it's easy. These 4 spots in the middle were just like, but this guy beat that guy. But wait, that guy beat that guy. But hold on, this guy. It was really confusing, and we'll get into all that as we go. But really, EBA Power Rankings, where does your team rank? So going in actually number 10. Actually, I don't want to go that far. Week 1 Power Rankings. The difference is we had 3 people climb from our initial preseason Power Rankings. 4 people dropped. And 3 people stayed about the same, so 3 teams stayed about the same. So overall, there was a little bit of movement. There was some swapping from down and up from our preseason power rankings, and we'll discuss it as we move forward. But still, at number 10 is the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the Lakers this week, I got a question mark here. It's called LA Exit. Let me ask you, G, if you're on the Lakers, are you requesting a trade?
I mean, realistically, I would not. That's the last team I want to play for in the league. But I would actually at least try to give it a shot before I requested a trade. You know, if they're just trolling and playing AIDS, then yeah, most likely I'm requesting a trade.
You know, they won 1 game this week. That's it, just 1 game. They're sitting at the bottom of the power rankings at 1-7. And we'll talk about who they actually beat later in the show. But this week they lost to the Pelicans 50-87, not even a close game. Houston Rockets they came close to. Your team 63-64. Your team only beat them by 1 point. Looked like your team fell apart in the fourth there. They 68-52 beat the Jazz. 67-84 lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder. 47-110, the Cavs slapped them out of the arena. 71-63 lost to the Clippers. 50-91, the New York Knicks beat them 91-50. The Lakers lost to the Clippers again 66-69, so it was a close game. The only one game that the Lakers won here. See, did I already mention that? Where did they win here? They beat the Utah Jazz 68-52. That was Sunday's game at 11, which was really surprising. They did get a win, so Utah Jazz will be known as going down to losing to the worst team probably ever. Now, the roster looks good when you look at the roster. Originally did until everybody wants to exit out of LA. So looking through the week, your team almost lost to them. I mean, is that where you bury your head in the sand, or G Money, or is that just a bad night?
I mean, honestly, it was our first night together as a team, as a whole. Honestly, I've only played with like 2 of these guys. And then we were playing fine. The fourth quarter, we just collapsed. I don't know what happened. We tied the game up. And then I actually hit a game winner technically on them, but some reason the game was glitched. They gave us 2 points or 3 points for 2 free throws. We had to actually play an overtime quarter after that.
Oh, I heard about this one. This is the one where the basket went in, but it gave you 2 points for one free throw. Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
about that game, and I thought the Lakers won. I was like, holy crap, they beat somebody else. They've won 2 games this week, but no, they actually lost to you guys, the Rockets there. Do you have anything really you want to say about the Lakers? I mean, 10's where they belong. They're bottom. Is there anything you want to say before I pass over to Texas?
I mean, nothing really, bro. They're 1-7. They're not moving up. They're not moving down for the rest of the season, I think. But they're trying.
I mean, this is the story with Trainer. I'm gonna Texas. I'm gonna come at you. The Trainer last week or last season with the Oklahoma City Thunder stayed at 10 pretty much the whole way through. In fact, I want to look now because is that a realistic statement? Yeah, I had them in the preseason at OKC. I had them top, and they ended the season at bottom. So this is the same situation. I mean, is he going to continue playing that 10th spot? How long do you see Trainer just continued being the laughing stock of the EBA?
Well, last season I felt like Trent really came in and tried, really tried last season. I mean, he got some great players. He got JT. I think he started out with Dimes, but when people get there, he doesn't act serious, so nobody takes him serious. He's a good player. He can be a good player, but he's gonna be the shit of this league. He's gonna be the shit on the bottom of your shoe for probably for the rest of his career.
I talked to Trainer in a party, and I was like, dude, why did you take the Lakers? Because I've been going off on him in at EBA Tonight, and everybody knows this, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse because this horse has no chance to race in anything. So I don't want to keep beating this up, but he said because of the meme potential. So to him, to troll and be a meme potential is more important than trying to be competitive in this league. I mean, I got LA exit here with a question mark. I know everybody, not everybody, that's a wrong statement. A majority of the people on his team want to off of his team. They want to find somewhere else. And there has been some moves proving that, or requested trades, or not officially, not officially, I guess I'm using air quotes here, for trades for getting out of LA. Um, I don't know. I guess we can move on because there's really not much to say. Like I said, we can't beat a dead horse. That's where they are, and that's where they're going to be the whole season. I don't think, no matter who they have on their roster, I think LA just can't compete as a 2K team against the top 9 teams in the league. Moving on to the biggest drop this season, number 9. So far, the biggest drop from our preseason rankings. Preseason, we had them at number 5. They dropped 4 spots. Washington Wizards are at number 9. I got too heavy with a question mark. The Washington Wizards, Texas Championship, being where they're at, I believe it's their standings have them at 2-6. They're the bottom in the Eastern Conference. They've only won 2 games this week. I got too heavy question mark. Is the line with JT and Ramo, is that just there's too many bad players for those 2 stars to carry in Washington?
Well, I know that when we played the Wizards this week, Ramo wasn't there. He didn't play, and we played JT.
I think they beat us, right? I think that's one of their wins come from us, which is bad.
It was a close game. Yeah, it was a close game. I mean, it is what it is. The ball fell their way that game, but I mean, the fact that they only got 2 wins is pretty surprising after looking at what their roster had coming into the season. I know we thought preseason they were going to be a lot better, probably compete a little bit more, but they were definitely going to be one line heavy. But it's not looking good, man. I mean, looking at the roster now, I mean, you're starting to see why. I mean, you can see why they're having problems. If Let's Get It Boy's not showing up, then you can see the problems on paper. Easy. Like, it's just right there. You can see it. If Let's Get It Boy don't play, JT's a Chuck. You're gonna have issues.
Wow, JT's a Chuck. You just came right out of the gate with that, huh?
I mean, come on, it's clear. Everybody knows JT's a Chuck. He's gonna shoot. He's the best player that got on their team, so he's gonna shoot, just like every other star player out there. So, I mean, he's gonna shoot and shoot a lot. I think he had like 28 shots in our game. So it's not surprising to see him down here. If Let's Get It Boy starts showing up, maybe they can move up. But if he doesn't and he gets blacklisted, then they're just gonna fall.
Well, I think he only showed up for 2 games he couldn't make it to, and it was due to work or something similar, from my understanding, and I could be wrong. And that's only was speaking with Mags because I
Okay.
asked Mags what was going on with the Wizards being on that team. He says he enjoys
Well, I
the
mean,
line that he's on. It just feels like he can't contribute enough in order to make an impact. But you've got so far for the week, Portland Trailblazers beat them 76-53. Cleveland beat them 92-57. Clippers beat them 79-52. Utah beat them 71-53. We were the first loss to them for that week at 67-76. So it was rather close. The fourth quarter, it was close the whole game. There's just a couple mistakes throughout. But New York Knicks 64-50. The New York beat them. The second game they won was against your team, G, the Rockets, 82-70. And then 53-62 lost to the Knicks for the final for the Wednesday game. I mean, I figured I had them at 4-4, maybe at 5-3 by the end of the week, only because I figured that one line would carry the other line, being with JT and Let's Get It Boy Ramo. You've had many matchups with Let's Get It Boy back and forth, being two bigs previously in the EBA. Do you feel that the Wizards are, with all the trash that's on the team, is just too heavy for those stars to carry?
I mean, honestly, there's not that much trash on that team. The players are decent.
Yeah.
The players are good. They're not that bad as you guys make it seem. It's
I'm
just
I'm going by the record. I don't know that I'm just going off of what the record shows.
The system they run is kind of broken.
Yeah.
So JT and Let's Get It Boy, they're gonna get their buckets. They're gonna play together good. They're gonna run that pick and roll together good. JT's just kind of in a shooting slump, but he's gonna pick it up, and I think they're gonna do much better.
Do you think John Wall is a good character that fits JT? I don't think. I originally thought, oh wow, he's going to do work with JT's going to do work with John Wall. But looking back, I think more of his character is a someone who can hit mid range, maybe even the character that you're playing over, with Harden, that can take shots but also facilitate the ball as well. Do you feel that's a good fit for JT on that team?
I honestly think it's one of the best fits for him. Reason being is that the way he plays,
John Wall don't have a 3-ball.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he has like a decent 3-ball, but JT doesn't really. I mean, he does shoot, but he's more of like an attacker, and John Wall's super fast, and he likes playing with fast point guards.
Yeah, I think it'll only take
From
them a
what I've
couple
seen,
weeks
at
to
least.
figure out how to mesh together, and I think they'll be fine. I don't think the Wizards will spend their time down here at number 9 for too long. And when I said too much trash on the team, I wasn't calling the players trash. I just meant with where they have people and the way that they set out. Do you feel that the Wizards can be competitive moving forward? Like I said, I had them at 5-3 after the first week. That's why we had them up at 5 in the preseason rankings. I figured I expected more from them, so they definitely are below expectations, dropping from that number 5 spot all the way down to the 9th. So I mean, you feel that Wizards can continue to be competitive as the season goes, I'm sure.
Competitive, yes. Playoffs, iffy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the East is a little rough, so let's move on to the number 8 spot. And the number 8 spot, for those of you who say this is biased, Oklahoma City Thunder. We're down 2 spots from where we initially had them at number 6, so their biased is we're down there with the 8, 9, 10th spot. Because of the situation, it is 3-5, and loss to the Houston Rockets put us just below them in the power rankings at number 8. Okay, City, I got mesh with the question mark. I'm going to go to you first, G Money. What you played against them? What do you feel? Do you feel the Thunder are going to struggle this season with the roster that they have?
Easy now.
I mean, I only played one line. That was with Melo and Fig in them. I haven't played Mike Man and James Smith line, and I'm guessing your line too. But you guys are going to have to carry them, James. Because the way they're playing and the way they run that zone, it's too easy to pick apart.
Yeah.
Nothing really else I can say about that.
Gotcha. So you feel that that the OKC, that definitely that one line, they're going to be one line strong. The other line is still going to sit. Now, I put mesh with the question mark, and the reason why James kind of understands this a bit, because I think we're still trying to figure out what we're doing. I know that I played the first couple games. I lagged out both games. I played shitty the next 2 games. Like, I might as well not even have showed up for the night. You should have got an ECU for me, because I played absolute ass. I'm not a good player to begin with. I consider I just play my role, but I know that we're having trouble kind of meshing together, and I think we seen some sparks last week that was like, ooh, this could work, or ooh, that could work. But then we also looked at the second line, and we had the real Uncle Drew kind of coming in, trying to find his space. The one being ran by Melo. I mean, do you think mesh question mark's a good question for the Oklahoma City Thunder? Can they mesh together and figure it out? James.
I think it's the question, man, because coming in, a lot of people was suspect about us taking Oklahoma City in the top five. And that's a big thing, and obviously we got to feed our star players, which and that starts at our owner. Mike is one of the better players in this league, and that's easy to see, statistically speaking. And you got to build around what you have when you're picking your team, and I don't blame Mike for picking the Thunder. I don't think I honestly don't think the Thunder is a bad team. I think trainer made them look really bad last season, but it comes down to like you said, mesh. Can we find the players to get in the right spots to win games? We won 3 this week. We could, a basket here or a basket there. We could be 5-3 easy. A couple things didn't fall our way, and it happens, and it can be said for the Rockets as well. I'm sure that they had some close ones that, a basket here, basket there, they're looking at a whole different record as well. It's just something that you got to overcome as a team, and with the Thunder, when you only got like one guy with star power, it's hard to do. So you got to find that, and you got to find those guys that can mesh together and hit those shots that when you need them to, or play their role that you need them to, and it'll get better through the season as everyone should see.
Well, a couple things I think that you mentioned. I think the Oklahoma City team this season, and now I'm talking about the roster, I'm talking about the team itself on 2K, is better than what it was last EBA. I think they made some moves to make that team a little stronger than what it was when JT and Trainer and those guys had it. So I think that's a better roster. I still don't think they're a top 4 pick. I talking with even Mike, man, he goes, man, I should have just stayed at 2 and took the Clippers if I knew I could have got my guys for the price that I got my guys for. Or if I knew how bidding would turn out now, maybe I should have stayed at that second spot and take a top team, or even move down and take a different style of team to best benefit, maybe even the Pelicans or whatever. So I know that he's had questions regarding that pick. However, at that time, he thought it was the best pick. So the way that the Oklahoma City played this week, they lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers 64-83, lost to the Clippers 78-71. Beat New York 77-67, beat Los Angeles 84-67, lost to the Wizards 67-76. That was the game I was saying could have went either way there until the end. 73-78, lost to Utah Jazz. Now in that game, everybody keeps talking about cheating. In that game, the shooting guard was moved to the power forward spot. It was I can't remember the guy's name. What was the guy's name again? Abrines, thank you. He was moved
Abrines.
Yeah, Abrines. He was moved to the power forward. I was under the understanding, because I've never played with him, he was a small forward, so it was our mistake on that line, so that game was a loss no matter what. I think he scored 8 points there, so that game would have been even worse than 78-73. However, they did beat the Pelicans 72-58, which was the highlight of the week. Lost to the Rockets 86-53. Looking at the Thunder, the question mark is definitely the mesh. Even being on the team is, can we mesh together? Can we figure out, can people play their positions and play their roles well enough to become a solid competitive team? Moving on to the number 7 spots, I have G Money's own Rockets at number 7. Now the Rockets.
Yeah, I didn't get a video.
I did not get a video. I looked online for a video. I was like, there's got to be a good one, but all of them were trash. Houston Rockets. Contact their front office and tell them they need a good hype video. But what is good is that you stay equal to where we had you initially in the preseason rankings, which is good because there's a lot of teams that are struggling figuring out certain things. You guys stayed exactly where we thought you would be. That way, so the only way up the only way this time it should be up for you guys. The question mark I have is G Money, and Texas, explain, why did we put is G Money question mark?
Well, G, as you know, coming into the season, everybody had a question mark on your name. And I'm sure that's probably why you didn't go for more. Coming into this season with playing a shooting guard that we've never seen you play. I've heard Miz, if you're not Miz, talk about that you can ball. You play some games with Lillard and you shot lights out, and you just felt like, oh, that's it, you're done. Maybe you've accomplished everything you can accomplish at center, and you're trying to broaden your spectrum here. But when we say is G Money, was it the right call to switch to the wing?
You're asking me if it's the right call for me to switch to the wing?
Yeah. Do you feel that right now? Do you feel happy with your decision?
Of course. I mean, this is all experimental, honestly. I know I can ball with the best of them. Reason being is if someone else on Xbox can do it, what's the reason I can't do it? And with that, I had a really rough first game against Utah. They really locked me up. But those 2 losses were on me since, I do have the 96 overall and through the games, I could say. But I'm getting my steps in. I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to this shooting guard / bringing the ball up life. And, the only way up is up for me.
Let me ask you this: when you're playing, okay, and I know as a big man because I've played some pickup games as a wing, whatever. But when you're playing and your guys are getting out rebounded, does it hurt your heart a little? Do you lose a little bit of yourself knowing that?
I mean, I'm down there with them, bro. I'm not leaving them alone. I'm down there with them with Harden.
Yeah, that was
so. If we both get beat, then.
Well, we had Mags. We play a bunch of pickup games with Mags, and he was playing point guard. And being a big man himself, he was always in the paint. I was like, Mags, you got to get out of the paint. We need a little breakout here. And he's like, I can't help it. It's habit. When the ball goes up, I cut to the paint and get the rebound. So I imagine that's something you have to break yourself from. But like with Harden, I guess it's not a bad thing is to cut to the paint. You're still going to have your 1 and 3 darting out, I guess, if you needed to, or get a breakout from them. The way that you guys played this week was a little, I would say, suspect. I mean, you're actually tied in the standings with Oklahoma City 3 and 5. The only reason you got the nod this week is head-to-head record. You did beat them, the final game of the week. But you have 74-66. You lost to Utah. 63-64. You almost lost to the Lakers. That would have been embarrassing. 66-82. The Cleveland Cavaliers beat you guys. 75-70. Portland Trailblazers. Portland Trailblazers won that game. You did win the game against New York, 73-66, and you lost to the Pelicans, 52-70. You did lose also to the Washington Wizards, 70-82. Houston, 86-53. You actually won against the Thunder there. That's the last game of the week that you won. It looked like you're getting. Now, your stats, G, coming off of that was your first game, 6 points. Your second game, 23. Third game, 24. Your fourth game, 37. And I didn't even include your assists. I mean, you got 13 assists at the end, which is the most. So it looks like you're kind of getting into the swing of things. Is G going to be money moving forward? Is he the money guy going forward that can carry that line?
I mean, like I said, I'm getting my swagger going. I'm going to dominate, and I'm going to win games. That's just my mindset. We did lose those games, but that thing about that is that we did have a lot of problems with free agents. A lot of problem with free agents and a lot of problem with people lagging out.
Yeah, the servers were shit the last few days. We had that same problem the first Monday we had that problem. I lagged out of 2 games, which I never lag out of anything. So it's really surprising that we had those issues.
Gee, were you in the Knicks game? Did you play against the Knicks?
No, I was not. I wish I was.
That'd have been so good. We gotta broadcast that, man. We gotta broadcast you and Miz, man. Come on.
Me and Miz, me and Majestic, whoever wants it.
Whoever wants it.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Whoever wants it.
Yes, it's just coming down. Speaking of which, moving on to the next
team. I'm gonna come out there with Steven Adams and lock you up, son.
The number 6 team, moving on, is the Knicks. So he did jump a little bit higher than you on the power rankings this week, only because his schedule they did go 4-4, so they split the week. And considering the problems that I know they had, was not bad. I know they had a lot of roster issues, call-up issues, a few other things, but they did drop from where we had them 2 spots. So we initially had them with a roster where they're setting at number 4. They dropped a couple spots. Now they're setting at number 6. And I've got the fall of the king question mark. I mean, the reason why the fall of the king is King Mizark, of course, comes off of a great season last season. His first season as an owner, wins owner of the year, makes it to, I believe, to the finals of the playoffs for the Eastern Conference Finals, loses. Second season as owner, comes through, takes the team all the way to the finals, knocking off the powered Golden State Warriors. And now his third season, is this the fall of the king? I mean, what do you think, G? You're sharing the house with him. You see that frustrations. What do you think? Is this the fall of King Mizark?
I mean, no. No, I always mess with them, say, yeah, you guys miss me, yeah, you guys need me, you guys are never gonna win without me. But
Well, that is a true
they're just having
test.
some.
I mean, he did come off of the
I
season,
mean, they could say the same about me.
that is true. They could say you don't have, we're not feeding you. You're not going to be able to score, which is not proving correct. But the New York, the way they played this week, setting it 4-4 is below what we had on their expectations. Do you feel that he even feels he's not hitting expectations?
I mean, they're switching around a lot on the lineup wise. Like Miz was playing Rose, and now he switched to Mello, and I guess he likes it. So right now, they're obviously way below expectations, especially for them. But I think they're gonna move up.
I can see Melo bringing the ball down consistently and playing a one position from where he's at.
That's
The
what they
three.
do now.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. That
Yeah,
would
that's what they're
definitely
doing.
not hurt that team at all. And I think he would play a lot better, feel a lot better with that. Derrick Rose is hard to use. He scores in the paint or he doesn't score usually. Some people
They
have
don't
a
even
mid
use
range
Derrick
with him.
Rose.
Really? Wow, they take him out.
Yeah.
What do you think from looking at how they did this week? The New York Knicks lost 74-58 to the Los Angeles, or they beat the Los Angeles Clippers 74-58. They lost to Portland Trailblazers 54-84, so that's a pretty good slapping there from the Trailblazers. Oklahoma City beat them 77-67. The New Orleans Pelicans beat them 76-60. Houston Rockets beat them 73-66. The Washington Wizards lost 64-50. The Lakers lost to them 91-50 or 91-50, which is a good slapping from the New York Knicks. And the final game of the week, 53-62, the Knicks beat the Wizards again. So looking at kind of laying that out, Texas, how do you feel the Knicks? Are they here? Is it the fall of the king? Is he going to fall off now? I know he's been frustrated with his roster, but do you think he's going to figure it out, get it moving, and jump up?
Well, I feel like it's the first time that Trainer really fucked them in the bidding, which I
Pause.
mean it's part of the game. It's part of the game. It's something that you have to
Really fucked them
live
off.
with.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be hard for Miz. I've always been a fan of Miz. I think he's a great owner. It's the first time he hadn't had G, which is an issue. Uh, I don't know what they're doing with Majestic, seeing how Rose is not a shooter. Um, there's a lot of questions, and it seems like they had a really easy schedule this week. So I don't know what they're looking like in the future. I know he's had some roster calls, but you gotta use these free agents, man. We put this in to help teams that are having issues. So he needs to get in there, find out what he needs, do what he needs to do, and make it happen. But it's gonna be tough. I just don't see the Knicks as a type of team that fits him, and especially without G. It's rough, man. I wish him the best of luck, man. Miz is a great guy. He's a great owner. He represents himself very well in this league, and I hope he does very well in this league, and I hope he continues to do well. But it's gonna be hard for him with the Knicks, man. I just it just doesn't seem like the team that would fit him.
Yeah, I when talking with him in a party, he said, I don't think we've played with our line or a line, a set line from day one, because he's always either had to call up someone from free or utilize someone from a free agent 1 day contract, or move his guys around and play different positions. I'm sure he'll figure it out. He's a smart enough owner. I see him making the playoffs with the New York Knicks. I think they'll be fine. I don't think he's falling. I think he's tripping up a little bit right now, but I think he's fine. Moving on to number 5, we have the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, keep in mind, guys, 5, 4, 3, and 2 were very difficult, and this is why. The Clippers actually beat the number 1 team. They're the only one to give the Cavs a loss right now in the stats. So the Clippers being at 5 is hard, although they're up 3 spots from where we initially had them at 8. Great climb for them, above expectations that we originally had with the Clippers, the team they had, not the team but the roster, I guess. Do you feel that the Clippers are above their current expectations from looking at the roster and seeing where they're at? I know we played both on the Clippers last season. We know that the team itself is solid, and we didn't even have CP3 for majority of the season. And we still feel with CP3, it just makes that team so much better. Probably the best, team in on the as roster wise. But looking at who they have on their team and looking at that team as a makeup themselves, do you feel they're living above expectations, or this is where they should be at number 5?
I mean, honestly, they should be here at number 5 right now for how they're playing, but I'm going to be completely honest. I have no clue who's on that team besides Shump and like Zoltar. So what I did notice though is Shump, Shump, you
Yeah,
know his play style.
he's gonna do well.
He takes a lot of shots.
Uh-huh.
He's going to do good. He takes a lot of shots, but the thing is you can't really take a lot of shots with CP3. Just like last season how we won, we just force fed the ball down low. So, I don't I hope they do well. I hope Shump does well, but I don't think it's going to last like that if they keep playing the same way.
Well, you got Master Quickie, Mr. Leone, Almighty Zeus, D9, Shump Life, Ilmatic Titan, Clutch King, Schwug So Fly, It's the Boston, Cripple X, Dave. That's all on that roster. And how they did last week was they actually lost to New York 58-74, beat the Thunder 78-71, beat the Wizards 79-52, beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 79-70, which that's the show-out game, which in my eyes puts them a lot higher than what they currently are. But we'll explain as we go through this. The only 3 losses that they have as a team, they lost to the Trailblazers, lost to the Pelicans, and lost to the 6th-ranked team Knicks. So it's kind of like, where do you put them? Where do you place them? And like I said, these next 4 you can swap however you want to swap. You can kind of take, because they all have a 5-3 record. But they again lost to the Pelicans here on Tuesday. They ended up beating the Lakers 71-63. The Trailblazers beat them 67-62, so it was a close game there. In the fourth quarter, they almost came back and pulled it off. And then Wednesday, they beat the Lakers again 69-66. So they did play the Lakers twice this week, which is a plus. But they also did have to go ahead against, Cleveland Cavaliers, which is the best team in Pelicans. So it seems like they've got spots of greatness showing and then spots of what's going on. So Texas, looking at the Los Angeles Clippers, I had above expectations question mark because we discussed it. Are they living currently, because we had them a lot lower, are they living above expectations, or do you just continue to see this team climb the ranks of the EBA?
I think they're definitely above expectations right now, but I think they're going to fall. I just can't get behind the roster. I can't do it. Looking at their schedule, I see they won the games they were supposed to win. They played the Lakers, a couple times. They barely beat the Lakers by 3 points in one of their games. Beat them by 8 points in another game. Lost to the Blazers. Lost to the Pelicans. The only team that they won that they probably should not have won was the Cavs game. The rest of these, they should be winning these games. They got the Clippers. They had a slightly easier schedule than some other teams did this week. I think they're doing good for what they have right now, but I know that they got Cleveland again next Sunday, so we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure Cleveland's anxious to get back their one loss they have. But I see them falling. I don't see them going up anymore. If anything, they're going to stay the same. But I don't see them climbing.
Yeah, well, next week's schedule is definitely a test. They have Cleveland, Utah, Portland, Rockets, Utah again, New York, Thunder. They've got the Washington Wizards is probably the weakest team they have next week, which isn't a weak team. So depending on what line you play. So I feel next week will definitely be a test, and we'll say, okay, guys, you put them too low here. Maybe you should be putting them up, a couple spots if they win, they do well next week. And then if they fall out next week, they're still probably about where they belong, 5, 6, somewhere in there, because they're playing the top, 6, 7 teams on this, other than the Thunder, which is lower, but the top 6, 7 teams on this.
Just looking
on the power rankings.
Just looking at their roster and looking at their next week's schedule, I feel like they're going to finish bottom 3 next week. And if they don't, I will come on here and say I was wrong. I'm sorry, but I don't think they're going to climb. They're definitely going to drop next week.
Like I said, you can move them because of the Clippers win, or because of the Cavaliers win was huge.
Mm-hmm.
I think for them, that the only ones that gave them a loss, they would have went undefeated this season or this week if it wasn't for the Clippers. To me, they deserve a bigger push than what we gave them, but it was arguably because these next 4 teams are still very competitive teams and very, they only lost to each other here and there, and it was very difficult to place them, I think, this next group. But speaking of being wrong and apologizing, as you were saying, the next team, the number 4, is the Portland Trailblazers. I have to offer a legit, even though it's only 1 week, I have to offer a legit There's always one team that I underestimate every season. Last season it was the Boston Celtics. I underestimated them and said, I don't, the team looks good, but I don't think the Boston's can compete. Uh, this this week it's the Portland Trailblazers. This season this is the Portland Trailblazers. They jump the highest 5 spots from our initial ranking at number 9. Hopefully they took that. Like we made them number 9 last week, and they said, you know what, screw these guys. We're gonna kick everybody's ass. And they did a good job this week. I mean, they came out 5-3. They didn't blow up. There's a few games that I felt they should have won, and I'm sure they would agree with me that they didn't win. But they didn't do bad. I mean, they beat the Wizards convincingly 76-53. They beat New York convincingly 84-45. 78-63 beat the Pelicans, which was a big start. So coming right out of Sunday, I was already got the pen and paper and started writing my apology letter. Dear Rush, I'm an idiot. Sorry. You're better than I give you credit for. There was a lot of question marks on this roster coming into preseason that we just didn't know. I guess we're going to learn this year. They beat the Rockets 75-70, 73-88, lost to Utah. Then turn around and they Cleveland beat them pretty convincingly 101-64, but Cleveland's pretty much beating everybody. 62-67 barely beat the Clippers, but they did pull out the win on the Clippers, and they forfeited. This is what hurt them and probably put them at this number 4 spot. Again, you can argue they can go up to 3. They could even probably jump up even further if you want to argue where they should be beating the Pelicans. However, they forfeited and they lost to the Utah Jazz twice this week, so it's difficult for me to put them here. Gee, looking at the Portland Trailblazers, was I off on them? And of course I was off on these guys, but is there some talent here that I definitely missed? I don't know if you played them this week or not. It shows your team did, but what do you think, G?
I mean, Ice, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was shaking my head last week when you put them at 9.
Yeah?
I personally haven't played them this week. That was O. Lewis and their line.
Mhm.
But besides the fact that the Trailblazers are a great team, they do have really good users on the team, and very, very underrated point guard is their Lillard, King Havoc. I played with him in the Money League. I played with him last season on the Clippers, and for $1 million, that might be one of the biggest steals of the draft. And one thing about the Blazers too, if there's
King Havoc.
what was that?
King Havoc at $1 million. Got him. Yep.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, one thing I'm gonna talk about the Blazers is there's one center I hate the most in 2K, and it's Nurkic. I cannot play with that guy no matter what. And Shadows, he's balling on Nurkic. He's putting up numbers. He's putting up like 30 and 20. He put 30 up one game, like 29 another game. So I give him props for that too.
Well, Shadows went under the radar last year, and if you remember correctly, Texas, you mentioned at the beginning of the show that he went under our radar and ended up having a really good year. I think he was even on the show from Toronto last season. So maybe we did sleep. There was a couple question marks, like we didn't know there was a couple of them we just didn't have stats to go off of. So I didn't have stats to go from. So when we're looking at these, we're going, okay, BC all day for life. I don't know this kid. I don't know anything about him. Kobe the Great, King Savage, King Havoc had decent stats, nothing outrageous. It's Rush, of course, we know. So there's a lot of question marks here. I think that's why they fell so low in the initial preseason rankings. But as I said, I'm wrong. I'm an asshole. I'm completely wrong here. I hope that you took what I said and fought against that and fought to be number 4 where you're at, probably even arguably number 3 or number 2. As I said, these 4 teams can be argued back and forth. What really hurt this team is the forfeit. I mean, James, will they continue to climb? And also, I have a question mark, forfeit. What the hell's going on?
I was really surprised seeing them play as well as they did, man. Like I'm with G. We played some tryouts and stuff, man, and Nurkic, he's the most unathletic fucking big man. I swear, man. I don't know what it is about him, but it's hard to move with that guy. Like you can't. It's so hard to go lateral. I mean, it's so hard, and their bigs are so hurt. And this is a big man's 2K, as we all know. This is a big man dominated 2K. So to see the Blazers climb like they did blows me away. I was really, really surprised with how they did, and I'm right there with you, man. I mean, Rush has done a great job. They had a lot of question marks coming in. Rush is a new owner. He has some guys we didn't know. So there was some big moves there. He didn't really make a splash anywhere, but the biggest concern here is the forfeit. I know they'll get it together, and I think it's more just because Rush, like, he's new and he's still learning with this new free agent system and all that stuff. He's still trying to figure that out. Maybe he just couldn't figure out where to go or how to find. I'm not sure what happened. It's just one, but it's still early, so it sucks to see a forfeit in the first week. So I'm sure he'll fix it moving on, but I mean, if they continue to play like they have, man, there's no reason why they shouldn't compete for the number one spot.
Well, I said it multiple times. If you don't like the way we put you, prove us wrong, and that is definitely proving us wrong coming out of the season, the way that they came out of the season. I mean, when they beat the Pelicans 78-63, just to give you some kind of a heads up here, their point guard, King Havoc, scored 30 points, and only 2 shots from the shot chart was outside of the paint against the Pelicans. I mean, the Pelicans probably have 2 of the best big men in the league, arguably. And he drops 30. Okay, let's take away 6 points. He drops 24 in the paint with Lillard. And I'm like, okay, that's a way to come out and make a huge statement to say Ice has no idea what the hell he's talking about when it comes to that Portland Trailblazers team. And it wasn't against bums. It was against Fab. It was against Fredo Wavy, Eurostep, J-Dub, AO, it's Mark. I mean, it wasn't against a bunch of bums. It was against a decent team. So when it comes to the Portland Trailblazers, like I said, I owe them a huge apology, and I hope that fire keeps burning inside them because I'd like to see them. I think they can continue to climb. I'm a little concerned with the forfeit. It's I'm sure that he can. It's Rush can get together and figure out what's going on there, but hopefully he makes the fixes or makes the difference and continues to climb. Arguably, the second best team in the league right now, I think, are the Trailblazers. I wanted to put them higher, but the forfeit hurt them. The 2 losses to Utah, I can't put them above Utah if Utah beat them twice in a week. And also the loss to they lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers as well. So to me, they're arguably the second best team in the league, maybe underneath Utah, losing twice to Utah. But speaking of underneath Utah, at the number 3 spot, I have the Utah Jazz. That's exactly where we had them in the preseason ranking, is at this 3rd spot. Now you can see the issue that we had when we were sitting here doing this. Okay, the Clippers beat the Cavs. They should move up. However, they lost to the Knicks, which is a lot lower, and they also lost to the Pelicans and the Trailblazers. So they lost to the 6th spot. They did get a big win. Where do you put them? It's arguably at 5-3 where you put them. And then you go, okay, well, Trailblazers, you have to put the Trailblazers near the top because they're kicking everybody's ass. They're kicking teams. They beat the Pelicans, so maybe they should be above the Pelicans. But however, they had 2 losses against Utah, so you can't put Utah below. I mean, you see the argument that we were having before in the pre-show when we're trying to build these power rankings. It's not an easy power ranking, but Jazz fell at the 3rd spot here, or is at the 3rd spot, the same place we have them. And I have signs of weakness. How do you feel about this Utah Jazz team, G Money? Do you feel the 3rd spot is where they belong, or do you think they're just holding on for dear life at that spot?
No, I feel like it's the right spot for them. They got a lot of talent on that, and I know they lost to the Lakers, which is pretty embarrassing. I told myself if I lost to the Lakers, I'm never going to play with you guys again, as in the guys on my team.
That's why they pulled it off there at the end.
But
yeah.
Yeah, but they have Realist, they have Mama, they have Hot Shot. They have a lot of good talent, and they're probably the best point guard center combo in the league right now, which is Illuminati Mama and Hot Shot 305. So I think they're going to possibly move up in the rankings or stay around the same area.
Yeah, being the 3rd best team in the league is nothing to. I mean, that's pretty solid for them to even and hold on to it from the preseason to come into the season and prove that you're the 3rd best team. Those 2 wins over, if they would have split with the Trailblazers, I might have given the Trailblazers the nod, only because Utah lost to the Lakers, which is I want Eastern to I don't know, take the whip and slap himself in the back 4 times, say 10 Hail Marys, because he gave Trainer his first win, which is unacceptable. And I'm sure they were pissed when they lost. But looking at this week's schedule, it was 74-66. They beat the Houston Rockets. The Utah Jazz lost to the New Orleans Pelicans 95-69. So that huge loss, and like I said, Trailblazers beat them. So it's arguably any one of these spots you can argue that these guys belong in. 68-52. the Los Angeles Lakers is the loss there. The Utah Jazz 68-52. Someone teach Trainer how to put in individual quarter stats so I can tell if they were competitive, because he looks like he's just an idiot and goes straight to 68 on the 4. Utah Jazz 71-53. They beat the Washington Wizards. The Jazz again beat Portland Trailblazers 88-73. On Tuesday, they also beat Oklahoma City 78-73. And then turn around and lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, but it was a close game. It was 93-86, so it wasn't like they got blown out. And they took the forfeit at the end of the week from the Utah Jazz, the first forfeit of the season, which I think is more frustrating than anything. Looking at this Utah Jazz team, we had them at 3 going in. Signs of weakness. Are they showing any signs of weakness losing to someone like the Los Angeles Lakers? Texas, what do you think?
I think losing to the Lakers is complete shitty. But what do I know? My team's at the 8 spot, so apparently it's for the Lakers.
Listen, how good you are at 2K does not make you the best analyst. I just want to point that out. So we can be an analyst and media guys, and we can still be shitty at 2K, and we'll be okay. So.
Hey, I'm not shitty at 2K. Okay,
Well,
you can keep that title.
Okay,
I'm good.
I'll hold on to that. I'm garbage. I'll take it.
Okay. Nah, but real shit though. I think it, everybody has a bad game. It happens. Unfortunately, I don't know how it happens to the Lakers, but apparently it does. But I mean, they got a great team. Hotshot's a good big man. I've heard a lot of good things about that Illuminati Mama kid. So apparently they're on the up and up. I know that Gobert's a savage. That man, I played a pickup game with him and dropped 30, no problem. It's absolutely insane how easy it is to score with that guy. But I mean they definitely deserve to be up here. Despite the Lakers loss, they compete in every game they're in. So I'm anxious to see what they do next week. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, next week coming off the top, I think they've got a little rougher of a schedule. Yeah, I can't even speak right now, but a little harder schedule than what they currently had this past week. Although they did face some good talent this past week, so there's going to be a little bit of mixed matchup. The Lakers has to put a big chunk out of their 3rd spot there, and that really made me want to move them down, but you can't based on how they beat, how they won twice. And like I said, that forfeit really threw some things into the mix there. So moving on. The number 2 team, we have the Pelicans. They dropped 1 spot from the first spot we had them, and now the number 2 team. The reason why we have them at the number 2 team is they lost 3 games like everyone else. They lost to the 8th ranked Thunder, which was a close game up until the end there. They also lost to the Trailblazers, and they lost to Cleveland Cavaliers. So really the Trailblazers and Cavaliers are the only ones that arguably can move them out of the spot. Like I said, I don't know where they're looking at here for moving forward. I have trouble in New Orleans because I know they're having a couple issues. For instance, I know they're upset that the teams are scoring on them like they're scoring on them, especially with the bigs that they have. I think they have talented big people, but I mean, looking at this team, you being a big man yourself, as well as Texas being a big man, but looking at this team, do you feel that there could be trouble in New Orleans if they continue to put up L's?
I mean, the way the roster is shaped right now, yeah, I believe there's going to be a lot of trouble because Anthony Davis is the best power forward in the game, in my opinion. He's my favorite player to use in the game. And DeMarcus Cousins, you think it's easy with DeAndre to go under the rim, press X. DeMarcus Cousins can do pretty much the same thing, if not better. So I feel like they should have put more cap into, instead of trying to get their friends, just try to get a good big man who can actually dominate. And just switch the lineup around because they have like one Wild Walnut. He's known as I sit under the rim and press X type of guy. But for some reason, he's on Anthony Davis and Dimes is on Cousins. So that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, looking at the stats, One Wild Walnut was arguably a player of the week this week when looking at him, just because he still put up really solid numbers with who he had. So, but looking at how they did for this week, they actually beat the Lakers pretty convincingly, 87-50. Beat the Jazz 95-69. Beat the Pelicans. They lost to the Trailblazers 63-78. And as I said, once they get a couple L's, they're actually 5-3 this week, which I think they're the stronger 5-3 team, but arguably could be moved down a couple spots here nor there. 76-70 beat the New York Knicks. 63-66 beat the Los Angeles Clippers. That was a close game with big man versus big man in the paint. 70-52 convincingly beat the Rockets. 72-58 lost to Oklahoma City. So 72-58, that game was that's what kind of I think hurt them and could argue. But if we then move them down, then we have to move Utah down because they lost to a worse team. So that was almost a scratch 72-58 game there against the Oklahoma City Thunder. 74-67 they lost to Cleveland at that final Wednesday game. Now, you and I discussed this a little bit, Texas, in the pre-show. Talked about why we felt the Pelicans could be 2 or even lower, or if there's trouble in New Orleans, because the situation they got going on, and we said this at the beginning, I heard Dimes is playing the 5. Can Dimes do the 5? Well, we were looking at statistics, and I'll let you kind of take over from here. What do you feel that needs to change in New Orleans for them to get this ship right?
Well,
or they could face trouble. I mean, the
ship
ship's not wrong at number 2, but what do they need to do to make sure that they stay up there at the top? I guess is what I should say. Go ahead.
Well, like you said, we were looking at statistics before the game, and what was it? I think Dimes has like a shitload of assists. I mean, he's up there with majority of point guards, and he's playing the 5 over there. So, I mean, Dimes has to go back to the 1, man. My guys played them. I wasn't in the game, but I know you guys played them the other night. Ice, you were in that game, and I mean, we were putting the clamps on the defense, man. We were scoring pretty nicely. Dimes has to go back to the 1, man. That's like, at first we were like, well, maybe Dimes can play anywhere. He's the 50K 2K. He's 50K 2K, whatever. But the thing is, man, like I saw him down there, and it's not scary. It's not he even who he has. It's not scary to see Dimes at the 5. Now you put him at the 1, and it's your worst nightmare. I mean, Dimes is an absolute savage, if not the best point guard in this league. It's a problem. He needs to get back at the 5. He's diming people up at the 5. He can do so much more and help his team so much more at the 1. I know they got Mo.
Mo actually is blacklisted.
Did they actually blacklist him?
Well, I don't know. He's not showing up. I don't know if they did an official. You would know before I would know if they did an official blacklist on Mo. But from my understanding, is Mo quit and doesn't want to play. So I know that he's not showing up. So I don't know if you got an official blacklist or if they
you definitely have to go back to the 1 with Dimes. There's no way about it. Even though you got AD and Boogie down there, the 1 is your start. The 1 carries the ball. The 1 does everything for you. I mean, unless you're James Harden, then it's the 2. But you got to have something to put the team on their back, and you got to have someone to put the team on their back. And Dobbs can do that at the 1. He's putting up assists, like I think it's like 35 or 25 assists or something like that at the 5, which is unreal in 1 week for a big man. He should definitely go back to the 1 and do that and be a facilitator for his team and be a floor general. And that's what they need.
Well, I think what's hurting them, and this is just from playing in that 1 game, I was absolutely, again, played like trash. I could have just let the game play itself. I played decent defense, but beyond that, I was ass. But I think that from what I seen, and just like I said, being an analysis point of view, I think Dimes is no matter where he wants to play, he's a great player. The problem is that he doesn't have enough support around him in those wings positions. I think Recalibrates went 1 for 9. And I can't say too much. I think I went like 1 for 6, but I was trying out a new player that I haven't played with yet as well. But no excuses. Bottom line is 1 for 9 from Recalibrates. I think his other wing went 2 for something. The problem that he has is that the guys are open, but the paint is so crowded because as soon as they pass it in, everybody just collapses into the paint because they're not scared if you dish it back out. So the fact he has that many dishes is amazing, but what's more important is that they need somebody like Dimes that when they do dish it out, that punishes the player for collapsing. Mike Mann didn't have any issues collapsing. The one they had, they're like, whatever, I'll collapse all day long. I'm not scared of this kid. If it was Dimes, he might have to second guess going down and getting that steal. He might have to step back and go, whoa, I don't know if I should collapse on that because Dimes is going to hurt me or at least make a move, bring somebody else off, and leave a wide open somebody. And I think it's just learning the shots and getting used to the player, I think, is what Pelicans suffering. Although they cannot be happy at the second spot because, we argued pre-show, do we move them as far as 5? Because of the situation, they're tied right there, 5-3 with those other teams, and they lost to the Trailblazers. And they also lost to the 8th ranked team, and they lost to the 1st ranked team. So arguably, you could sit here and have an intelligent conversation with me and tell me the Pelicans should be at 4 or 5. And I honestly could not argue that point back other than the fact that we feel with the roster that they have and who they have on their roster and where they're at, they drop down to the second spot because we feel they're still, a strong team in the league.
I mean, honestly, any team from 2 to what was it, 5?
Yeah, can be argued. I agree.
I mean, except the Blazers. I think the Blazers have to stand with the Jazz. I mean, the Blazers lost twice to the Jazz.
Yes, and that's where that's the problem is. They each traded. Like the Trailblazers beat the Pelicans. The Pelicans beat the Jazz. Yeah. The Jazz, beat the Pelicans or the Trailblazers. So you kind of got this rotating who wins what based on who they played. I think the stronger of the schedule. I think the Pelicans still made every game close. There was only a couple blowouts, and there weren't blowouts either. I mean, the worst loss that they took was against us and I think it was just it could be a bad game, whatever it could be. But their guys shot absolutely horrible. I don't know if they need to replace some wings, if they need to get people who know how to shoot with certain people, if they're waiting for people to get injured, whatever it may be. The Pelicans are at number 2, and I do think there will be trouble in New Orleans if they don't figure out how to move things around and make it happen. Moving on to the number 1 spot, the Cleveland Cavaliers at number 1. Of course, you knew this. They went 7-1. Only lost 1 game to the Clippers. So congratulations to the Clippers for knocking them off of having an undefeated week. But as for the Clippers themselves, or as for the Cavs themselves, are they the number 1 team in the league right now, G? I mean, they're 7-1, but do you feel they're the team to beat right now?
I mean, as of right now, yeah, you can't deny it. They're 7-1. We did play them. I played like garbage and we lost the game, so I'll put that on me. But they're balling right now. Bebe Kids is balling. What can I say? Like, I taught that kid everything he knows about the game. So yeah. I'm glad he's finally out of my corner and putting the ball in his hands, putting 30 a game. So I'm proud of him.
Well, I got Return of the King question mark only because do we finally have we have a conversation when they were going to ban Golden State. Do you ban Cleveland? They're easily the next best team. But realists would say, well, no, because nobody knows how to play with LeBron James. Or somebody else would say, well, no, nobody can figure it out. So the Return of the King, King James, but also Return of the King himself, exclusive, 28, 24, 35, 37. I mean, he's putting up good solid 10 for 14, 15 for 19. He's putting up good solid games, averaging 30 points a game with LeBron James, which he should. I mean, he's LeBron James, but still, Return of the King, don't think has had this good of stats or this good of start to a season in a long time. So looking at that Return of the King, do you think the line that people was looking at, and we had them a lot lower when we initially talked, but we then moved them up to the number 2 spot. Now they're up to the number 1 spot. Do you feel that the Cavaliers will hold on to this spot the rest of the season, G, or do you think that they're going to run into some trouble?
They're going to run into some trouble. I don't think they're going to stay number 1, but they're going to have a successful season. Plus, in that Western Conference, they can make it far, if not the finals, to be honest.
Yeah, I would not want to face the Cleveland Cavaliers in the finals. To me, that's like facing the Golden State Warriors. Looking at what they did this week, 83-64 they beat the Thunder, 92-57 beat Washington, 82-66 beat Houston. The only loss was against the Los Angeles Clippers on Monday at 79-70, so they only lost by 9 points to the Los Angeles Clippers. They destroyed the Lakers 110-47. I mean, that was just, I imagine, was a shit show. Cleveland Cavaliers 101-64 destroyed Portland Trailblazers. 93-86 beat the Jazz. 74-67 beat the Pelicans. Do you feel, James, that the Cleveland Cavaliers should probably or are performing at a much higher level than you initially expected them to?
Okay, so originally in the preseason we had the Cavs really low. Looking at they have a balanced roster, so it's like okay, well they don't really have any stands out. And then going through and looking at it again when we started grading the rosters and really looking deep, like we spent hours in the preseason looking at the majority of the stuff. And we're like, you know what? Like these guys, they don't have any negatives. Like all their guys are solid players. You know what I mean? And Bebe is that type of guy that'll take over a game for you. Now, you know he can be a whiny baby, and you know he's on Kuro tip, but he's still a good player though. Like, and then you give him a player like Irvin, which is like almost exactly what he wants. That cheesy pro am crossover cheese into the screen and then hit the midi. That's his style, and he does it very well. And if he can get somebody that can do that, that's a wow factor. So what they're doing over there in Cleveland is very good, and I'm honestly surprised, man, because picking owners, we were like, there's Z actually, we'll just use him as a backup owner in case something happens, and we're like, you know what, let's give this man a spot. I mean, he's been a great staff member for a long time, and now he puts his qualities into ownership, and he's killing this shit. So, their roster is absolutely spot on. Z did an excellent job in bidding, and they deserve this number one spot. And I don't see why they would fall. Maybe they'll drop one, maybe, but I mean, what are they? What are they? 2 games up from the number 2 spot.
Yep.
I can see them continue to climb, man. They're looking good right now.
Well, like I said, I think they're going to be the Golden State Warriors this season. Irving, just to kind of, since you put him, I could care less about the Bebe kids. Irving's one way or the other. But in the past on the show, you have been really harsh on the kid. He's sucking on Crow's teat, and he's not good without Crow, and he's shit, without. So I don't care for Bebe one or the other, but this season, he's putting up, without Crow, he shines. 25 points, 31 points, second game, 28 points, 32 points. I mean, the kid's averaging 29 points, 10.25 rebounds, and only 5 turnovers a game. And I say only because I think it's very difficult to play point guard, but only, he's averaging that a game, which that's the part he needs to fix, are those turnovers. But, I mean, he's averaging a double-double every time with a great player, but Irving is playing Irving. Are you going to give him the credit, or are you just going to say, well, he's sucking off on Return of the King's teat, or whoever it is that, I mean, Return of the King still has better stats, but I want to know if you're actually going to give the kid a little bit of credit.
Good.
Okay. Oh, the kid's good.
The kid's
Irving hit record.
The kid's good.
The kid's good. Okay. Like I said, I don't like the kid one way or the other.
Can I make a comment on this?
Definitely shoot,
I don't
brother.
like the kid's attitude at all, man. And that goes to say with a lot of these guys in this league. The bitchy and the whininess and the crying and the complaining. Like, he's just supposed to be some grown-ass man. Although Baby is not a grown-ass man. But if people could just get their attitudes together, man, like, this kid could go down as one of the better point guards in the league. His numbers in his career are very, very good. But his attitude is fucking ridiculous.
You were going to say something. I'm going to let you speak before I run over top of that. But what do you got?
I mean, you guys keep saying Bebe without Kuro, but you guys don't understand that I molded this kid into what he is. I molded him into, he blossomed into a man.
Is it you that molded him?
So he finally blossomed into a man, and I'm proud of him. He was like my child, and now he's all grown up and moving out, going to college.
So your ass didn't believe in discipline. Because his attitude is shit. You need to go spank that kid.
It came out right, didn't it?
Looking at this team, though, there's very few people that are playing on stars that's not averaging 20 points a game. I mean, I'm going through the statistics individually, and if they're playing on a star, they're averaging. Well, I mean, there's a star everywhere, but I'm saying if you're not a shooting guard, I guess which is still a star, but you're still averaging close to 20 points a game. I think. The guys that are playing on the role players, which you don't see from Cleveland, and you coming from Cleveland last season, you don't see those stars really outshining the other players on the court. And this year, it looks like it's happened thus far. It's week 1. I don't want to get on the Cleveland bandwagon and ride them to the finals, although I did have them at number 2 at the beginning of the season, or we had them at number 2 at the beginning of the season. But I think the Cavs are going to be the team to beat this season. Any thoughts before we move on? That is the power rankings. We're going to move on to the next step. Any thoughts you have, G? Anything you want to say about the power rankings? Right on, it's way off, I'm retarded. Anything?
I'm gonna shout out to Z actually, man, putting the fucking squad together in his first year as owner here with under my regime. I don't know if he's been owner under the previous commissioners, but
No, he's helped out a lot on
dude's
staff though. I mean, he's definitely stepped up and
yeah,
helped out a lot of staff.
he's been a part of my staff, a great staff member, man. He's putting in work as an owner, so shout out to him, man.
Yeah, and revolves. I mean, making him your GM, I think, is a solid move. Previous
great
owner
move.
at 500K
Yeah.
to pick him up and be able to make him as someone who knows the in and outs and's been owner in the past to be able to enter statistics and help you out, I think is a great move for Z actually. So it really relieves,
Absolutely.
I think, the owners when you pick a really good GM. Anything you want to say, G? No? Okay, we're moving on. The player of the week is what we need to talk about. Player of the week here. Looking at the player of the week from the East and Western side, what do you have for us, Mr. Texas, the commish?
Okay, so let me do the Western player, and you can do
Okay.
the Eastern player.
Okay, well then let me
Alright?
pull up the stats then if that's the. Oh, got you. Oh, okay.
Alright.
Yeah, got you. All right.
Alright. Yeah. So, Western player of the week. I gotta pull up the stats as well. Is going to be who do we have? What was it? Jazz, right?
Hot Shot, right? Hot Shot 305 is who we had for the Western player of the week.
I'm sorry. Yes, Hot Shot. I'm trying to pull up his stats right here.
And arguably, Return of the King is right there. Playing 3 games as small forward and 1 game without. Yeah. But I mean,
it was very close. But Hot Shot, he's put up, massive numbers. I mean, you're talking points. He's 22, 32, 22, 45. I feel bad whoever he dropped 45 on. That's fucking ridiculous. Rebounds 18, 22, 15.
66
11.
total rebounds. He's got 121 points, 66 rebounds, 10 assists as a big man, 12 steals, 12 blocks. He has 18 turnovers. Probably needs to work on that a little, but however, going 50 for 73 in field goal, he's a big man, but that's still solid.
I mean, in my opinion, he has the best big in the league this season.
You think Rudy Gobert is the best big, hands down? You think so?
Oh
yeah?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you're a big man too, G. Who do you think's the best big man in the league right now?
No, he's not a big man. He don't have shit to say. He's not a big man.
he was. He came from a big man. I mean, he did win.
He's a traitor.
Defensive Player of the Year last season.
You never know. I might be back next year. Yeah. I might be back next season down there.
Well, have the Rockets used their
Nope, they have until Sunday.
So you have until Sunday to become a big man again. So
anyway, I'm not moving.
He's not
a big man. See,
okay. Being a shooting guard, once a big man, who is the best big you think in the league right now? For the player, the 2K player.
Straight like clogs, like RTX under the rim.
Yeah, I mean, he said Gobert is easy, but you disagreed. So who are you saying?
The best big man in. We're talking about the player, not the
2K.
user,
yeah,
right?
Yep, the player.
Right.
Okay. My favorite big man in the game is Anthony Davis. The best big man in the league right now. Okay, the best the center. If we're talking about centers, I might have to say Cousins.
Oh wow.
Cousins has like 98 stand dunk. 97 strength, like he can just push you out of bounds, and you guys know I love doing that.
Gobert has like 95 stand dunk, and he's 7'1".
But here's the thing: Cousins also has an 83 3-pointer or something like that.
Oh,
so he doesn't just have to sit under the rim.
It's an 80.
Okay, 80 still. That's better than.
Okay, he can stretch
what's harder, like an 84?
I got you. But the defense of Gobert is absolutely insane, man.
Yeah, it is. But defense.
And the glass cleaning,
the height,
the only thing Cousin has over Gobert is his stretchability. Okay, which can be a big factor. But man, when you factor in the defense that Gobert brings, when you factor in the rebounding, the glass cleaning ability that Gobert has, and the dunk ability, Gobert, you can have a 7 foot and he'll jam on his fucking head, no problem.
Well, because he's 7'1". Cousins can dunk on anyone with ease. If you don't put up at least 28 to 30 a game with Cousins, I would honestly take you off. If someone's not putting up 28 to 30, I will move you. If you're not putting 28 to 30 with Cousins, you're off Cousins. That's how I feel.
I'm not saying that Cousins isn't good and he's not up there, but I gotta disagree. I think Gobert's the best big man in the league right now. Best center in the league right now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I argue that point one way or the other. Bottom line is Hot Shot right now is the player of the week for, what was it? He's in the Western Conference, right? In the Western Conference. Hot Shots. Now, arguably, Return of the King could be there. Even Irving could be arguably right there with 41 assists, 5 rebounds, 116 points. Return of the King, 121 points, 19 rebounds, 26 assists. 14 steals. They're arguably right there together. I think what pushes Hot Shot above is those 66 rebounds are just dominant. As the big man right now at 121 points, tied for the first place in the most points right there in front of Return of the King. Now, I think if Return of the King could have had another game on small forward, I think maybe we'd be talking about Return of the King as the number one guy. However, I did hear this, and I said I wasn't going to say anything, but I can't help it. Hot Shots called me out after a game, and then I was like, wait, he's calling me out? I'm not even in the chat. Like, someone sent it to me and was like, haha, Hot Shots calling you out. And I'm like, first of all, I don't really even know this kid. Second of all, if you can check off these things off of your list, then you're allowed to say something to me. If you've ever not quit a season, if you show up and play your role, no matter if it's not a star, and you shut your mouth and play it, then you can say something. If you've invested your time, effort, and money into helping this league and this community grow, then you can say something to me. Until then, you are irrelevant, son. I don't care if you put up 121 points a week or 800 points a week. You are irrelevant to me. So your mouth running, calling me out, I have never claimed I've been good. Ever. In the history of the EBA, I've never said, look at me, pick me up, I'm good. I'm okay. I might not lose you a game. I might play my role, shut my mouth, and do what I need to do in order to help the team win because the W is all that matters. And I might go 0 for 4 in the game like I did against him, and I think I had like one stat against some guy, MC Sticks or whoever I was playing against, Jersey Illest, I think, and I played horrible. So everybody has those nights. But anyway, you're absolutely right. I am garbage. But keep my name out your mouth, kid, until you can start checking some of these boxes. Moving on to the next, the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. And I hate to say this, but it is. And the reason why I hate to say this is because I don't want to sound like Texas James Smith. Now, One Wild Walnut, I got to give a solid shout out to One Wild Walnut. He is definitely runner up at 111 points, 51 rebounds, 5 assists, played really well, 79 attempts for 47 makes. He did well. One Wild Walnut was right there in the running. However, I have to give it to Mike Mann, and that's not because I am dick writing. It's just listen to these statistics. He scored. Let me go back up to points here if I can fucking get this damn thing to slide over. He scored a few more points than One Wild Walnut, I believe here. Let me pull it up because it's taken forever.
I think it's even. I think it's even in points.
Is it even? Okay.
I think so.
I got to slide all the way down to the bottom. Who built this broke-ass system here? Oh, I did.
They both have 111.
Yeah, 111. He has 49 assists. What pushes Mike Mann a bit above is those 15 rebounds at the one spot. Yes, he has like a 80-something or I don't even know his stats on to get rebounds.
I think.
But 15 rebounds as a one, I think pushes him a little bit above. He has more steals this week. He has 5 blocks as a one. One Wild Walnut has 7. And the shooting percentage is a bit better, 46 for 77 instead of 47 for 79. It's just an edge out. Mike Mann, I have to give it to him. He wasn't jacking this week at 77 assists. I mean, just as much jacking as everybody else in the league. But 77 attempts, but 46 makes. The only thing is 14 turnovers there, but it's still right there with One Wild Walnut. So, I mean, you could almost share the player of the week, but we don't do that here on the show. So I will give the player of the week to Mike Mann at 111. If Return of the King was on the opposite and on the East, he would have got it. Irving, same thing. If he was on the East, he would have easily got it as well. Mike Mann falls just lucky to be in the Eastern Conference and also had a good week. I mean, shout out to him. Fredo Wavy only had 3 games, and he had a good week. He would have showed up for that last game. He probably would have been in this conversation as well. It's Rush. He's up there. I got to give a shout out to It's Rush.
Fredo had 4 games. Fredo had 4 games, just only 3 at center.
Oh, he only had 3 at center. Okay, that's probably where I was confused in. My fault. Other guys that are up there, It's Rush. Chairs is up there near the top. Shumpert Life with 96 points. Chairs with 98. 42 rebounds for Chairs. That's pretty big. Leading the league in rebounds is Hot Shot. A shout out to Fab for 19 steals. A shout out to Dimes for 21 turnovers. I know it's hard to be in the paint. That's why you need to go back to point guard, my brother. So anything player of the week? Did you guys have any that stood out that I didn't I pretty much threw everybody out that I see leading the stats?
I mean, Dimes had 25 assists at big man.
Yeah, that's crazy. He did, but he had 21 turnovers too. So I mean,
he
was 30 for 47. Playing that 5 position with 47 shots a game, or 47 shots, that's what, a little over 10 shots a game. That's not.
He have 69 points though with the Star. That's on the low side. He needs to take his ass back to point guard. He's a savage at point guard, man. I mean, it's his team. He's taking the responsibility. He can play where he wants.
Yeah, I was about to say he can do whatever he wants to do if he's running the league or running the team.
Absolutely.
But the assists, dude. Fab was 77 assists. The franchise is up there with 71. And then Majestic at 59. Shout out to my boy Majestic. I see him saying nice things about me. I got ears and eyes everywhere. Moving on. New beginnings, trade rumors, and moves. Okay, I know this show's running a little late. I apologize to those who are listening, but we're going to talk new beginning, trade rumors, and moves. Currently, let's talk about the current moves. Hopefully you have that up. Texas James, you have any moves that happened thus far? Let's go with anybody that was called up so far this week that was looking to play on a team. And then let's also go with...
let's see. Let's pull this up here. I know that we've had a lot of transactions as of call-ups and send-downs.
Since we've been on the air? Any trades come through?
No.
Oh.
No.
No trades?
Any trades, no.
What?
No.
So Bama, power forward.
A lot of people on the trade block.
There's a lot of people on the trade block. I think all of Los Angeles Lakers is on the trade block, but just saying. 500, that's because they want out of there. Bama was called up, power forward, so good luck to Bama moving forward. Hopefully he will. iHoop looks like he was called up. I'm Uncle Willie's son, Jersey's illest. Holler out to Jersey's illest. Good call up there. Shackle Chip 2 was called up.
Mr. Shutdown. He was on our steals and deals for last week.
MC Sticks, another steal and deal there. He's getting called up there. So
he got sent down and then called back up.
Did he? Well, he's up on a team right now. So MC Sticks, good holla. From there, I don't know if I think that's it for call-ups. Any trades that happened that we need to be aware of, or did happen, I guess, that we need to be aware of? I know there was one with our team.
From last week. Last week, preseason, we have some preseason trades.
Yeah, let's talk preseason trades. Who's moving?
Let me scroll down. We should have that in the open forums. My computer will work. I know that preseason trade for the Thunder, we have the real Uncle Drew came to the Thunder for Grim Squad to the Lakers. Here we go.
Okay, so Gem Squad moved to the Lakers. The real Uncle Drew came over. Remix. Lakers also got Remix. And the Rockets
for
traded
Quan Boy.
for Quan Boy. So the Rockets got Quan Boy and the Lakers got Remix. Also, the Lakers got CW. And the Cavs got King exclusives.
Cavs leading scorer.
Yeah, King there. Return of the King there. Nice trade there. I think that was the only trades that happened thus far. There's not a whole lot of people moving. I assumed you'd see a lot more after the first week. In fact, I was pretty sure I was on my way out. I was pretty sure Mike Man was moving. What's that?
You ask me every day. Yo, have you got any trade for me yet?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Nothing.
I'm pretty sure I was on the block or in on the block. I've been playing like absolute ass. Nobody wants me. That's why. It'd be a send down. I think.
Your motivation keeps everyone's morale up. That's why you guys win games.
Is that what it is? I'm gonna say. Okay.
When someone hits a 3 and you got a good shot, kid.
Yeah,
it really brings our hopes
damn
up.
Straight.
You
hear that shit every bucket.
And JT loves it when I say no harm. So, like, if a turnover happens and we get it right back, I go, oh, no harm. It's just something I say. I don't know. It's something that sticks on me. But, so, new beginnings. Any trade rumors? Have you heard, G-Money, anybody moving or anybody shopping? What do you hear trade rumors? Who's on the blocks?
Besides the fact, like, half the Lakers roster.
Yes, not counting half the Lakers roster.
That's pretty much it.
That's it?
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I know, at least.
I heard the Wizards are looking to make some moves. That they're not happy where they're at the end of the season, and they're at the end of the first week, and they're looking to maybe move some guys off the roster. You can go through and pick up Mags at a cheap price if you have the right trade for them. So that's out there. Anything you've heard, Texas, without crossing your commissioner cap?
No, I mean the Lakers squad, LA's on its way out. I mean, but besides that, I think everybody knows that. Why not? As trainer, you never fucking know. But yeah, I think that's really about it, man. I think there might be some demanded trades out there, but they're all from the Lakers, I'm pretty sure.
I would love a real official trade block. Can we make that happen next season where people have to actually post real official trade blocks? I know they do it in chat now, but I would love to see.
Group me.
Yeah, I would love to see who is currently on the trade block and who could move for what. I do know the Pelicans are not happy with J-Dub, and there's some issues going on in the locker room. So, and he's not a bad player. I don't think he fits well with that crew, but I don't think J-Dub's a horrible player. I think that's a good center for $500K. You could probably snatch it and steal if you've got an open spot for a reasonable player. I don't know anybody else that's really on the trade block off from just being around in parties. That G-Money kid, he should be on the block. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm here to stay.
I'm not going nowhere. Trade room. Everybody else around you can move. Is that what you're saying? Trade rumors and moves.
No, not at all.
That's all we have. Oh, you love your line? You happy with who you have? Everybody you have on your line?
We're clicking. It took us some time, but we're starting to click. So I'm good for now.
Yeah, it takes a little while. Moving up to steals and deals. What we do with this segment G is we kind of pick somebody that we feel that is a steal currently in the free agent. If you don't have access to the free agent list, you should have a link to get you into that. I'm not sure if you do or don't, but you can pretty much click free agents. The problem is they're mixed up with late signups, and late signups is not.
We have a free agent pool Google Doc that is available to all management and owners, so they can see who is all signed up. And if you want to pull it up, you're more than welcome to on the stream. There's nothing against it or anything. Everybody can see it. I can even post an open forum for it if anybody else wants to look at it.
I just like to see who's on the free agent list, because it gets a little confusing when people sign up. They get signed in there, and maybe we were talking before show. Maybe we should create a whole new user group where late signups are now in the free agent, and then we have actually a free agent list somewhere. And it doesn't combine because people get a little confused. But GMB Stunna is still on the free agent list. He's still my steal and deal.
Power forward of the year.
I don't know how he's down there still.
Deal. Still down there. I know the Pelicans are looking for a big man. Hit up GMB Stunna. He played Porzingis last year. Might fit in perfect with a Cousins or AD role. You never know. Might as well just give him a shot. A couple of our steals and deals got called up from last week. Shackle Chip too. He got called up.
I see. Is Farrah Fuego? Is he on the? Is he?
He is. He got sent down.
They sent down Farrah. He wasn't playing well in New York, or availability.
He quit. He claimed he was lagging and he quit on them, and then he pretty much demanded Porzingis. So I'm glad they sent him down. He's a loser.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Farrah Fuego is setting at $500K. I'm not saying he's a steal or a deal.
Definitely not a steal or a deal if he's going to act like that. But let's see. GMB Stunna, we just went over there.
You gave him a shout out. He's still sitting down there.
Yeah. Sorcy's still down there.
Solid player.
Defeat you, 44, reliable guy. I see this guy wanting to play so bad. Dirty South, 1738.
Have you ever played with him? Do you know if he's any good or decent?
I don't know. I know he was wanting to play. Did they? I can go look right now.
I think he played with him yesterday. I don't know.
Oh, well, it
could have been a
one game call him and see if he fits well with him. I do know that.
That's why I'm not sure.
We were talking today, and I wasn't aware of this, but I want to make every owner aware of this, or every player aware of this. If you're an owner and you have two guys not show up on your line, you can go into this list and sign them for a one-game contract, one game, and have anybody on this list fill in for those two spots. It's not limited to one per game or anything. If you're the Lakers and your whole team quits on you, you can have 5 free agents for that one game, right? You can't use those 5 for the rest of the week, but you can have for that one game to make sure you do not forfeit that game. That's the whole point of us putting this free agent in, and that's why we're blown away that the Trailblazers forfeited. If they were missing 3 dudes, they could have went out here and grabbed 3 guys. Maybe they ran out of time. I don't know the situation, but definitely should not have any more forfeits moving forward with this many guys here. I think there's like 50 guys on this list. There's a couple of them I see twice. Like I see iHoop twice in there. But I mean, there's 50 guys. Let's
Your
minus
best
the
friend
guys
Jay
that are marked
Snyder's in there twice.
yeah. Well, that's because he needs to be in there twice because he's not going to get on a team. So steals and deals. Did you see anybody in there that I didn't mention? G Money that you think's a steal or a deal?
Hold on, let me see at this. I mean, there's some names that I recognize from the Money League, like, let me see. Like this guy, Nino 850. He's not a bad big, he's pretty good. And then, I guess, I'm sure he'll play. He kept PMing me. He was PMing me last season, like, yo, when this EBA start again, I want to sign up. So I signed him up early, but poor guy didn't get picked up.
Who's that? Nino?
Yeah, Nino 850.
Okay. G says he's a solid big. So coming from a once big, not a now big, you're a shooting guard now. You have to accept that.
I mean, I'm a pound for pound player.
Oh, is that what they call you now? Pound for pound best player in the league. Is that what you're going to go with?
No,
Oh.
but I will be playing that soon.
All right.
Maybe next season small forward, you know? Who knows?
Might as well bounce around. There's nothing wrong with that.
Might as well. Just stack up that award case. It's too easy.
So moving on here, let's wrap this up very quickly. Moving on. We're going to talk around the league, and I think you have somebody you wanted to bring in. You said Texas. I was trying to read while I was trying to go through.
It was Majestic, but he's talking all this shit, and then when I was like, okay, I'll let you in. He bitched out, so you know.
Oh, what was he talking shit about?
He was talking about he gonna come in and get some things off his chest. He pulled a garbage assassin. You know what I mean? He pulled a garbage assassin. Talk a big game, but no balls.
Backed out last minute on us. Poor guy.
Yep.
So around the league. I just love the music in the background, so I play it around and say around the league a few times. Real quick, around the league, anything going on from your neck of the woods there in the EBA around the league that we should be aware of, Texas?
I know we got a forfeit already from the Blazers this last week, and I just want anybody that is watching the show and listening, I know we have it on the site, on the forums for new season 7 changes. There is a forfeit limit this season. If you take too many forfeits on the season, you will take a blacklist as an owner. And for all of you who signed up as GM, if your owner gets blacklisted, you have to step up because that is what you agree to in the I accept management thread that you read and forwarded to me. So if you don't want your owner stepping down and taking that blacklist, you better make sure you guys get in the game.
Oh, wow. So that changed, which I need to get in order to update the thread. Some other things. EBA Pro League. Around the league, this is kind of going out, but EBA Pro League is here. It's a money-based league. You have an entrance fee. You pay that entrance fee, and you get credited. The owner of the winning team gets credited back the money that's there. But if you go into the EBA Pro League name there, you click it, it will let you buy a team. Once you buy a team, you get put into the owner's room, and then you tell whoever it is there, which at Mags is running the league, you would tell Mags, hey, I want to, these are my 5 guys I'm bringing to the park, or bringing to the court. And those 5 guys will be your guys on your roster. So it's a bring your own team money league. It's not a draft type of mentality. I know people are familiar with these types of leagues. It is a legal style. It's called esports. We're able to run it under the esports banner on our site. We went through some things and got some things in place. So now it's completely 100%. So we cannot be shut down based on this, which is what I was more concerned with. So the EBA is still up and running. We want everybody to sign up to EBA and play, but it's a free-to-play league. You get free-to-play currency. This is a pay-to-play. It's called EBA Pro. You should go in, look at the rules, the number of games, how the playoffs work out, what the game's set up. I believe it is... For entry, it is 10 gold coins, which 10 gold coins, if you purchase, is $30 to enter. So to enter a team, it's $30. Unless you have gold coins, sign up from the other free-to-play leagues. You can buy, which you actually get 11 gold coins for $30. So that actually lets you sign in and play in the Pro League. And I know Mags will be pushing that heavy this weekend. He's going to make a couple tweets, posts. So if you want to win some cash, you think you want to put your money where your mouth is, sign up. For those of you that still want to play in that league and maybe want to be a part of it, there is a free agent thing you can click, and you need to be able to sign up to that. Click free agency in order for someone to put it on your team. So if G Money's putting together a roster, you need to be signed up as a free agent for him to label you so you can then get assigned to his team. All stats will be included just like we do in the EBA. Playoff program will be included just like we do in the EBA. It'll be much shorter seasons. It's an open schedule. Sign up. That's what's going on around the league. That's really all I have. Other than I did put a new post, which is more around the site than around the league. But around the site, I have in the EFL post, there's Mutant League Football. I work in the gaming industry, so I get codes constantly, and this guy wants us to promote his. Came to me and asked for us to promote his new game called Mutant Football League. It's a remake of the old Mutant League Football. If you're a streamer and you have a PC and you want to promote it, get with me. Read that little post and I'll see what I can do about. I have codes that I can get you. The game doesn't come out until January of next year, but it will be an online team play game. That's why I thought it fit well with our site. I get these constantly, but this one I thought fit better for our community. So get with me. Let's talk about it. What were you about to say, Texas?
Oh, how are we coming along with the pro league? Have we already got owners signing up, or?
I believe there's one owner currently signed up. There will be more. If those of you that are afraid to sign up, I don't know. I have to talk with Mags. I didn't check. But I think we only have one owner signed up currently. But I have heard a lot of people. For instance, Mike Man was one of them talking about, well, maybe I'll come take somebody's money. So I know Dimes mentioned he wanted to take people's money. The franchise said he can't wait until they get the mama, whatever his name is, Mama, Your Mama, or something to do with somebody's mama. He mentioned that if we do a money league, he'll take everybody's money. So I think we have a pretty good setup here, and a lot of people came to us and said, oh, we love your EBA, but we should do a money league. So we're doing a money league. We're giving it a shot. If you're interested, sign up so it can take off. It's going to be a lot quicker turnaround. Mags is going to run it until we feel comfortable to have it. So he's a pretty unbiased guy, and he's shooting straight. So I'm signed up to it. So if someone needs a corner monkey, want to lose money with me, I'm more than happy to help you lose money. But $30 to side, $30 or 10 gold coins, whatever, however you want to figure that out.
Is there a position lock?
No, there's no. It's bring yours. So you get 6, 7 guys. I think the roster limit's 8, or it could be 7. Don't quote me on that. And then once you put your roster in, it's locked at that point. Now you can send people down, but in order to add somebody to your roster, it does cost some coin or purchase of something at some point, because we don't want a lot of transactions. What we don't want to happen is the bottom 5 teams get raped before the playoffs. That's not fair. So we're just going to rape all the good players and remove some of these guys and put the good players on our team. We want those teams. We want you to put your squad together like an esports squad, bring it up in here, and win some cash. I think it's $450 if we have 20 teams. The more teams we have, the more money it's going to be. I think there's a max of 50 teams the way he set out the brackets. You could do 25 and 25, and then there's a winner for division, and then a winner for everybody gets a little piece of the pie, but you get more money as a winning it all. The rules are there. Go online. They're all set up. It's right there. Click it. If you want to sign up as an owner, but you want to wait till other people sign up, then create a thread that says, "Hey, I want to be in this league, but I want to see who else is in this league," and pull in owners that way. However you want to do it, I'm good with. Just wanted to push that. Any other questions you have before I close it for the evening? G Money, anything you want to say before I close for the night?
Clarify.
Nope.
Get to that. Well, we appreciate you being on, G Money, the man, the myth, the legend.
Anytime, brothers. Anytime.
Even though I still agree that you kind of sound like King Mizar.
I'm telling you, man, we're getting trolled.
Are we trolled right now? Did you just troll the show?
No,
I mean, I think King Mizar just wanted to have the name of an MVP and a defensive MVP.
No.
I think he just wanted that. I just think he just wanted to smell like amazing.
Wait, hold on. Is it the only one on EliteTeamPlay.com that has both of those trophies? I'll wait.
I don't know. No, wait, no, because didn't Let's Get It Boy just get it? MVP.
Nope.
Oh wait, no, he didn't get defensive MVP. No.
He's going after it this
No, we're
season.
gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, he's got to get
Fact
it this
check.
season.
Well,
He says.
stay tuned next week and find out. If Mizark's the only one. I mean, I said Mizark. If G's the only one that has
Played that.
MVP and MVP.
Well, as always, thank you to the listeners and people that are listening. I am going to play a little Mutant League football, so you'll see my stream pop up. It's just me promoting them like I said I would, so I'm going to play a little bit of that after this. I'll close out and then, of course, boot it back up. But thank you for G-Money for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Making your appearance. Also, as always, thank you to my co-host, my brother from another mother, Mr. Texas James Smith.
For the work, man. God bless you all. Y'all have a great night.
Yeah, and appreciate it. Have a great EBA week 2.
Yo, what's up? You gotta put in some MVP work with James Harden.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll try. I don't want to fight my own time.
Hot shot's going for the MVP. He does got like the best big man under the rim.
To you.
I mean, in this season, man, I gotta say, man, he's so easy to use. So
He's up there. He does have like 95 stand up.
And he's 7'1" with a 95.
772.
I don't know, shit, he might be that good. I thought it was 7'1".
I don't know, I'm not
sure.
sure.
7'1". Big Dad listed 7'1". But he is a savage. So easy. Now, I'm surprised because I played outside. He passed out a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't force.
I was like, I'm about to get jammed on, but he passed out. Alright, shit. I don't like
He
it.
doesn't force it. He'll put it up.
He don't force because he's always gonna get the ball back. You know, he's always getting the ball. I bet they didn't give him the ball that much. He was like,